I was a guy on probation, and I was supposed to go, I'm not supposed to be here, like, I'm on probation. Mm-hmm. Then, so I go to the window, and they needed a real reaction for the whole crowd of people that were at the party. Mm-hmm. And so I turned around, looked at the camera, said, "I'm not going to jail," and I jumped out the window. So it was really exciting. I don't have it anymore, but my whole arm was all bruised and cut all up here. You actually kind of see it a little bit if you're like up close, but the whole arm was bruised. I had a cut on my legs. I landed in a bush. Almost wasn't able to have children. Very close call with that stick. It went right up there.
But the flag is still also here.
Yeah. But you can't read the top of it, but that's fine. I'm not mad about it.
My sister said something about it the other day. Right? It's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about at the time, but I just stare at the flag.
Hey, at least we have viewership. That's nice.
Thank you, Matt's sister.
Thank you, Matt's sister. What's your sister's name?
Bree.
Yeah. She'll be watching this episode.
Thank you for watching.
Are we friends now? You can't answer that.
Do you love me?
No, don't you dare go with Greg right now.
Do you ever think you can love me?
Can you learn to love me? Do you like Baileys?
Do you like Baileys? You ever drink Baileys from a shoe?
Probably don't know who that is, sis, but it's alright.
You will.
You'll find out.
Welcome to the Only One Negro podcast. I am your co-host, David Woodall, and I am with my man, Tim Lurguini. That's your name for the show. Tim Lurguini. And Rex Ryan's big cousin.
Hey!
That's
the nicest thing you've said about me in this hour you've been here.
What? Whoa! Don't listen to
I take that as a compliment.
Don't listen.
Absolutely. Go Bills!
Well, y'all had a good win today.
Hey, 4-2.
Yeah,
4-2. We're about to go 4-12, but 4-2. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Who has more wins at the end of the year, the Bills or the Lions?
The fucking Lions. It's not even fucking close.
No.
Tyrod's gonna get hurt.
Tyrod is like...
Deshaun's gonna get hurt.
Nathan Peterman's I can't.
Who is Nathan Peterman? I don't even know him.
He's a backup quarterback.
Oh, he's the... Oh.
Yeah, I can't do it.
What do y'all think? Would you sign him over Cap?
Kevin needs to have a job.
I do like Nathan Peterman. Mm-hmm. I think he's a good quarterback, but Kaepernick he definitely should have a job. But
I'm talking about for your team.
I don't know about
your team.
For me, if I was the GM, I would. If he fit what I was trying to do, I'd sign him. Mm-hmm. But that's the same with any player. I wouldn't treat him differently because of anything.
Okay, but I'm saying from what you see from your team right now, Tyrod goes down.
If Tyrod goes down, I'd give him a call. Because they're the same player. Except Tyrod's more accurate with his throws. That's it.
Is he?
Colin's got a bigger arm.
Yeah, I know you got a bigger arm.
Tyrod's more accurate. Tyrod, a senior at Virginia Tech, led the country in pass efficiency. People don't give him any credit as a quarterback.
I mean, he's good. He's a good player. I mean, I got him on my...
He's not great by any means.
But
he's an NFL starting quarterback. People don't give him credit.
Well, I can see that.
He runs. It helps.
He does run.
He's
It helps.
Very, very mobile. Like campus too.
Y'all think we gonna keep seeing like more like standard like traditional Tom Brady step back quarterbacks, or you think we're gonna have a bunch of quarterbacks like Colin, like Tyrod, like Vic, like
I think we're
fucking people more like an Aaron Rodgers, somebody who can just move.
I think you'll see more Aaron Rodgers and Bucks
You
necessarily.
think we're gonna be able to get a lot of them?
I don't know if that's. It all depends on the athletes for sure.
Get a lot of them.
Yeah.
Depends on what.
Like a guy who can actually move, got an arm with the accuracy. Because like we could use Vic and Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Vic, I think, got a bigger arm than Aaron Rodgers.
He might have had the biggest.
Yeah. But I don't. Obviously, accuracy.
He's
trash, obviously, or whatever. But Vic was better dynamically on his feet than Aaron Rodgers is. But I wonder if you're going to be able to find players like an Aaron Rodgers when I think you can find more people like Mike Vick. Does that make any sense?
No, it does.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for, though, too. Because Aaron Rodgers, he leaves the pocket, and he's just something else. I mean, he can't run, but he can scan the field so well.
Their training's trash. Can we talk about how badly the Packers are built? They're trash.
They have one player, and his name's Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
It reminds me of how the Colts were built when they had Peyton.
But at least
it was literally just
T.Y.
Yeah.
T.Y. For a minute, didn't he have Reggie Wayne for a little bit?
He did.
I mean, it was probably an
towards
older
the end of
one.
his career.
And I think
But
honestly,
even back to the Peyton Manning days, the Colts are literally, here's Peyton Manning. You got 2 good receivers and 1 tight end. We're going to give you no defense. A kicker who Peyton Manning said was on the liquor a little
Right.
too much, Mike Vanderjagt,
right?
and no running game. Ezra was good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was maybe didn't get enough carries.
Who else did they have? They had Joseph Adai for a little bit.
Towards
there.
the end of Peyton's. They
Yeah.
had Dominic Rhodes, who was
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, I remember they got Mike Hart too.
They had Mike Hart for 1 year before he.
You think
Retired.
he regrets that little brother comment?
No.
Because ever since he said that shit,
I
we've
think
been
Michigan
kicking
would-
y'all ass.
I think Michigan regrets it. I don't think Mike Hart does, because I don't think Mike Hart gives any shits. I do not. He's like, yeah, we were good when I was there.
Yeah.
I don't care about Michigan now.
Well, y'all lost. He lost to Appalachian State. So.
He did. He did. He looked really, really good in that game, too.
that was.
Can we name a player from Appalachian State's team?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
Couldn't tell you
No.
one.
When-
There was one guy who got drafted. It was like a receiver, and I forgot what his name was because he was terrible. So
They
No.
still beat Michigan.
Yeah,
they did
they did.
in the big house. And then Oregon came in and beat them by like 60 the next week.
Was it Oregon? I know y'all lost to Toledo too. That, or maybe then it's the next year.
I think it was the next year.
Y'all lost to Toledo.
Yeah, because Dennis Dixon came in and threw like 6 or had
Y'all
6
quarterback is
touchdowns.
trash. Michigan's quarterback
Don't
is
include
so
me in this. I'm
trash.
just gonna box myself out of that.
Wait, I know you're a Michigan fan. You stay?
No. CMU. I'm staying out.
Okay.
I had no allegiance whatsoever.
This team ain't even worthy of fucking talking about.
56-9 or something like that yesterday.
It's a Ball State.
Hey,
Exactly.
Ball State is elite.
Ball State. Exactly.
Ball State. Golden Tate.
Well, that brings us to our first.
All right, go.
subject.
Yeah, let's go.
What?
What are our thoughts on Jim Harbaugh?
He's an elite coach. He's an elite coach. I think people are. And mind you, I'm a Michigan State head. I love Michigan State. When Michigan State won against y'all, I laughed in y'all face, and I will continuously every year laugh in y'all face. I like calling y'all some bitches. I like saying hell to the losers. I love it. However, stop disrespecting y'all coach.
Right.
Y'all act like y'all was really doing y'all motherfucking thing with Brady Hoke. And mind you, y'all can bring up the records and every win and loss ain't every win and loss. And we know that. Like, the Lions have a loss against the Falcons, but we all know them motherfuckers won that shit. So, regardless of all that, Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. He brings so much notoriety towards the Big Ten. And I love Mark D'Antonio, and which I think that showcased why he deserves it for a
He's a
long
better
time.
Thus far from what's been presented, I don't
I think he does more with. I think if he had the talent Michigan State had, I think he would be in the Final Four every year. I think because I've seen him do it with fucking Cook,
Connor Cook.
Connor
Yeah,
Cook. or
Connor
whatever.
Cook got. Let's just point out, Connor Cook's so good in the NFL that he played so bad in the playoff game that the Raiders brought in E.J. Manuel,
Yeah.
who lost his starting
How
job to
many
Tyrod Taylor.
How many games did EJ play?
1 or 2. Not many. It was 2 at most.
I think it was 2.
And this motherfucker has a job over Colin.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of people
No,
we can bring up, but
I
just
know.
to think of that shit just is crazy. But I forgot what the fuck we was talking about. Jim Harbaugh. But yo, Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. Him, Mark D'Antonio, Urban Meyer, just to watch that. If we could watch that
James
for like,
Franklin.
Yeah, James Franklin. Even
Throw
when he's
him
doing
in. Throw him
Wisconsin.
in.
no,
No,
Recent years,
No.
you could say so.
no.
he's an elite recruiter.
You know why? Because I can easily say, who the fuck does James Franklin coach?
I mean, he's got the number 5 team in the country right now.
I can easily say, who the fuck? You ask a lot of people, Penn State is still Paterno's team.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he hasn't, until he gets to a point where he can eclipse some of the coaches. Like, okay, right now. Okay,
If he wins on Saturday, he might. Against Ohio State.
No, come on.
That's a
All-
7-0 start.
Look up
Back-to-back
all-
years of great teams.
Okay,
The
but,
best player in the country is on his team.
okay, but also,
That he
look at
recruited.
all the shit that not Patino, god damn it, Paterno did.
We talk about
Yeah,
that too.
really.
You want-
No, we ain't gonna talk about what Patino did. Patino was out here getting the think we should really cut everything I just said out. All this shit. I said what the fuck I said, but I don't give a fuck.
You know what I think I'm
Whatever.
gonna do? I think I'm just gonna put a title box in, and it just says
Yo.
Dave went on a long ass rant.
Yo, I can go on some rants about some other shit, but no, that was. I just feel like it is what it is, and I don't think with Patino. But no, going back to Penn State, Penitentiary State. If these boys, whatever, not these boys. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep making jokes about pedophilia. It's not cool what they did. But we're not gonna act like Joe didn't do his shit for like 70 plus years. You can't tell me a motherfucker come around for 2 years and do some great shit and get to. That's like, is Jim Harbaugh over
Doesn't matter.
Carr?
No.
Carr. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
I'm not trying to say James Franklin's better. I'm just trying to throw him in the conversation with
Not
the
with
coaches
them. Not
in the
with
Big Ten.
Urban. Not with Mark, who's done it in the Big Ten. He's got to multiple games.
So,
or
Why
Urban, who's
James
got a
Franklin
national
got to
title.
the Big Ten title game last year. He's been to the Big Ten title as many times as Mark Antonio. So you're gonna throw Mark in there, you throw James Franklin in there. James Franklin took Vanderbilt and turned them into an actually decent school. Vanderbilt, who only recruits people if they have a 3.98 GPA and only if they've never had girlfriends. They study on the weekends. They think a party is when the three of you bring your calculators together. You see how big the math equations can get.
Yeah, Skip Bayless went to
Skip Bayless averaged 2 points a game in high school. He's an elite athlete.
Did he?
No, well, JV as a senior. He's a JV senior basketball player.
Nigga, why do you know that?
Because Jalen Rose burned him one day
Oh,
on ESPN.
okay.
You need to look at the video. It's great.
I'm
It's
pretty sure
great.
I can find it.
It's
Yeah,
great.
I didn't know that. I didn't. No,
Does
I never
it blow your
looked.
mind?
I never thought of Skip Bayless
All right,
as
here we
an
go.
athlete.
You ponder that, and I'll tell you why Jim Harbaugh's overrated.
Okay.
And it's not his fault, but it also is not his fault. And before we start that, Brady Hoke has one win against Ohio State, and it was against a team led by Luke Fickell, who had scrubs at every position and a freshman Braxton Miller, so let's just throw that win out. That doesn't count. That's not a win. I'm sorry. That's like Michigan saying they beat Michigan State last year, and that was a big win. No, you beat a 3-9 team.
Right.
By 9. Not good. Not good. Even though D'Antonio, why did D'Antonio go for 2 at the end of the game? That was stupid. Not the point. Not the point. Okay. Jim Harbaugh, he gets paid $9 million a year. His offensive coordinator gets like $1.5. His passing game coordinator, I don't know what that means because our passing game is fucking trash. $1 million.
So now you are a Michigan fan.
I'm from the Michigan perspective.
Okay.
At the moment, he gets paid $9 million, and his staff probably makes $18. You have to win a game.
You have to win
He's
big games,
24-8, and I'm pretty sure his 8 losses have been in games he has been the underdog in, and he is 24-0 as the favorite. He has not won a game that he is not supposed to have won, and he has not won a game that he was supposed to lose. The only you could throw Utah out. That was his first game ever, so I mean, you're still learning your guys at that point. You've only been coaching for a few weeks, so that's fine. Throw that out. He's never beat Ohio State. He beat the whatever you guys threw on the field last year, because that wasn't a football team. That was just a collection of bodies that just
I think
ran
we
enough
just
forward
we
motion.
just was trying to figure out what we gonna do for just to bypass, because you had kind of cooking a lot of them guys were seniors in their third year or whatever. So
And they left. You had your transition year. It happens in places like Michigan State that aren't traditional powers. You actually do have those transition
You
years.
think how long do you think it'd be if for Mark Antonio? How long does he have to keep this level of consistency up before people start talking about Michigan State as a powerhouse?
I think people already are talking about them. I mean,
I don't really know how much more he can do.
right. I think when they took down Baylor in that bowl game a few years ago, I think that's when because it's hard for us to say that because we watch Michigan State every year. I mean, we see what they're doing.
That's fair. We're in it.
Not being in the Big Ten, it's hard for us to say what we think it is. But I think that Baylor one really dignified what D'Antonio had done with that team. And I think when
You take that over the Stanford one?
That put him on the map
yeah,
because it was the year before the Stanford
Yeah.
game. So that was kind of like their coming out party. That was like, hey, we're a good team. You guys should. There's not just one team in Michigan that can dominate the headlines.
Okay, but
'Cause that was a big game too.
Who do you think get better
Obviously,
recruits right now?
Who's getting
Michigan
good?
or Michigan State?
It's a lot closer than it's ever been, but it's still Michigan.
It still is too.
See, I think for a while there, we were getting a better recruit than Michigan. But I think as soon as
Well-
Harbaugh came,
Brady Hoke I think he even had a number 1 recruiting class. He got the right people
yeah,
in.
he did. I
He
remember
got
that.
the right people, and he just had absolutely no idea what to do with them on the offensive end. Their defenses were good. Greg Madison, he's a defensive guy. Their
Mhm.
defense was never a problem. But how do you have Denard Robinson, Devin Gardner, all these offensive weapons? They had a lot of running backs. Fitzgerald Toussaint was on their team.
Yeah.
He's in the NFL right now, and he was terrible at Michigan. I don't think he was any good, and he's in the NFL. So somebody saw the talent in Fitzgerald Toussaint that Brady Hoke could not figure out. But Brady Hoke got pieces. He just had no idea what to do with them. He was getting 4s and 5s and playing them like 2s and 3s, whereas D'Antonio was getting 3s and 4s, and he's playing them like 4s and 5s because they're growing with him.
Let me ask you this, because you brought up we were talking about the fact that Harbaugh's
Mhm.
overrated.
Mhm.
What other college coach can get Big Sean, the Migos? I think he's had a few other people. Remember he was trying to get Michelle Obama
He had
to show up at that Michigan.
He had the ESPN college football guy at their like big signing day.
Yeah,
McShay.
yeah, Tommy Chang.
Yeah.
So, that's
There's
another.
no one in terms of the brand. No coach is out there as active in marketing, social media. all
So
this.
don't you think once in like say 2-3 more years, they will have better recruiting classes than Alabama? Because like I might get to see the Migos on a Saturday night in the big house. What? Like Michelle Obama may show up to the big house?
It's just frustrating.
What other coaches thinking like that? That's why he can't be over. What other coaches thinking I'm on the
And I don't
green?
think and firing him is not the right answer because you're not going to get anybody better.
No.
It'd be different. Like I don't know when the Tigers fired Osmus, there was every other human that's ever existed was better than Brad Osmus.
Gotcha.
In this instance, there's no one out there. If you think Les Miles is going to come in and do better than Harbaugh, you just turn off this podcast, unsubscribe, never watch again, because you're not the type of people I want to talk to. Because Les Miles is a good coach, but he's not Jim Harbaugh. And he won a title, so I'm not trying to discount Les.
Les
And
also
Jim has
got-
never won a title, but I'm not.
Les also got a lot of good recruits though. Can never figure out the quarterback though.
The
That's
best-
what might be.
The best quarterback he had was Matt Flynn. Or Jamarcus. He had Jamarcus for 1 year. And that's it. Matt Flynn for 1 year. Matt Flynn won the title with him. Like, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's always been a pretty. I mean, so honestly, you could say him and Les are the same person. Harbaugh and Les.
At least, well, Harbaugh did get Andrew Luck and turned Stanford into a program.
I think he's overrated. When talk about somebody's
That's fair.
overrated, I think that's
fair.
I thought he was bent over. I thought he.
Andrew Luck,
He makes
Andrew
some
Luck?
really bad decisions with the football.
He just doesn't have any time to throw the ball.
That might be part of it, but even
Nah.
at Stanford, he had time.
Yeah, and this just the way he goes about his pass. I don't know, something about the way he looks as a quarterback don't fit it. But I remember the early hype on his he gonna be the next Elway. He's gonna be this shit. And honestly, he turns over the ball a fucking lot. A lot of the damn time. And honestly, it's not okay. Like, but also too, the only thing that gives me a little solace when it comes to him is I seen that thing with Stafford.
Mhm.
I watched Stafford when he first started. He tried to do the most,
Mhm.
and then honestly, that's why I like Caldwell. Like he kind of keeps him a little calm. Last few weeks, actually, this is the first year since Caldwell's been there that I've seen Stafford actually be a little bit more erratic than usual. Because a lot of times, like Caldwell is like this. So a lot of times,
Caldwell's got the same face when they score a touchdown, they give up a touchdown, they win, they lose.
What do y'all think about
Sex
him
with
as
his
a coach?
wife, they're all the same. All the same face.
What do y'all think about Caldwell as a coach?
I got him on that one. What do I think about him? I don't know. Is he great? No. Is he bad? No. Is he what the Lions need? Probably.
What makes a great coach?
I don't. Well, he has great assistants. He's hired good. I mean, Jimmy Bob's a little overrated, but he's also the best thing Stafford's had. So
A
that's
great
fair.
coach, it's more than off the field.
Mm.
Like you got to keep your players composed on and off the field. After a loss, you got to. It's a lot of stuff we don't see that I think defines a great coach. Obviously, you got to go out there. You got to win games. You got to win big games. and that's the reason I'm frustrated with the Lions right now. And
They're Jim Harbaugh syndrome.
The
They don't win
big thing-
games. They don't win big games.
The big thing with Stafford when he got his contract, everyone was saying he doesn't deserve it because he doesn't win big games. He hasn't won big games yet, even this year, and that's what frustrates me. And I don't know if that's on Stafford, if it's on Caldwell, but the Lions, they don't win the games they need to win, and that's why. I mean, Stafford's obviously not overrated by any means. Top 5 quarterback, in my opinion.
Caldwell, a little high, but not too high.
I mean, Caldwell's a middle of the pack coach, but he keeps the team composed. He's a player's coach, which the players love coaching with him, and being coached by him. And I think that makes a big difference. Like, we don't see that, but if the players like their coach, it makes a big difference on the field.
It does.
And you got to keep your team composed, which I think Caldwell does a very great job of. Because you look at how many these fourth quarter comebacks, they don't happen to get a coach that doesn't keep this team calm. I mean, there's a reason they come into the fourth quarter and not concerned. That's why a couple weeks ago when they went in the fourth, they were trailing. Caldwell was like, it's a position we're comfortable with. We've been in it plenty of times. How many coaches can go into the fourth quarter trailing and be comfortable that, hey.
And they almost beat the Saints. They
Yes,
actually had
exactly.
a chance to come back with all that crazy shit.
They were down by 35 at one point.
I mean, that's fair. They did almost come back. But Matthew Stafford should have been nowhere near that field.
Yeah,
He should have been nowhere. Like it's great that they almost came back, but on a day they had to have known that Aaron Rodgers was dead. That they knocked him out.
Yeah.
He was in a hospital. He wasn't going to play anytime soon. So on a day where you're down 35 with 19 minutes to go in a football game, you're gonna risk your season. Because if Matthew Stafford gets hurt, they don't even sniff winning a game, let alone against Cleveland. Doesn't matter. They don't even come close, I don't think. And it's not that Jake Grudok's that bad. It's just they rely on Matthew Stafford to do that much. But you're going to risk your season. A guy he limped off the field when he threw the second touchdown to Darren Fells or whatever it was. He literally limped off the field. He put no pressure on his leg whatsoever. He had like tape right here. I'm pretty sure he was bleeding.
Yeah,
He had a bad ankle.
Hurt his rib.
Like, take him out. What do you have to prove? You're down 30. He just got his contract extension too. What are you trying to win every game? Relax. Punt. Put Rudolph in. Get him some experience.
I totally agree. Honestly,
I mean, it was fun to watch him almost come back.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think that's the thing. It's kind of like I kind of feel like what a Packers fan must have felt like watching Brett Favre for all those years. God never goes down. All the time he's all this bullshit. I'm gonna still gun it. But obviously Brett was more, I guess you'd say, outwardly about his or whatnot. But and just to watch him possibly get, I got Brett. Brett may do it or watch. Like, could you imagine if John Madden could call a Matthew Stafford game?
Boom!
Like, just imagine what that would be like. Like, that'd be kind of crazy. Cause just to watch Stafford just operate, play. Like, I can't name too many quarterbacks I like to watch. Just watch him. Not like, I think he's one of the most mentally best. And honestly, I don't think he is. But he's not like Peyton at the line or nothing like that. But
he's getting better.
But
yeah.
Stafford's fun to watch because it's so noticeable from the start of the game to the end how much he intakes. Because he doesn't look good in the beginning of games. It's not good.
They're either bad to start or they come out 14-0. And every time they go up 14-0 in a big game, just chalk it up as an L. Because every time they just don't score it again. And what was it, 2 years ago against the Packers? They went up 14-0, and I don't even know if they sniffed a 50. Because if they start out too hot, and then they just go in a shell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the Dallas playoff game when
Pettigrew
got pass interference, they went up 14-0, didn't score. Should they have won that game? Yes.
Yeah.
But you had 50 minutes to get in the end zone or kick a lot of field goals. They did nothing.
What is Jason Hanson doing nowadays? That's what I want to see.
He's marveling at the greatest kicker the Lions have had since him, in Matt Prater.
Yeah. I wonder how long Matt
Few
Prater's going to keep playing.
few more
I was thinking
50-yarders,
that too.
Matt Prater might be better than Jason Hanson.
I mean, he's still
Stop. No. 'Cause
Hey.
Jason Hanson never, teams was bad. I think a lot of us forget how bad
I did
our
not.
teams were.
Jason
Mike
Hanson's
Marks.
the Lions' leading scorer.
He'll always be the Lions' leading scorer. There will never be any more. He was the best quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, D-end, safety, kicker, punter, coach. He was the best player they had for like 10 years.
How long did he play? Like 20 plus?
He was there for about 87, I think.
For like 87. So what do y'all think the Lakers gonna do this year? Playoffs or no?
Oh yeah,
Playoffs,
Playoffs.
yes. I'm just
Why
trying
do I
to
think they're gonna get to the playoffs though? And I'm a Lakers fan, so this was really fucking me up.
Here's the thing. I don't know who, aside from the top four, I'm not saying the Lakers are the fifth best team. I'm just saying, like, those four are locked. You got your Golden States, your Houston, San Antonio's, Oklahoma City, whatever order they finish in the regular season, it doesn't matter. Portland's in.
Okay. Utah?
I bet. I got to see them play
Okay.
a few more games
Timberwolves?
because they lost a lot. Utah did. I mean, they lost Gordon Hayward, so did Boston. But they lost Gordon Hayward. He was their team. He was their team.
Okay, so
I think Minnesota can make the playoffs this year.
Okay,
I do. So that's 6. Because I said Portland.
You said maybe on the Utah, so that's
Yeah, check later.
Okay, so who else is there in the West?
I mean, Memphis beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, what about Memphis?
I don't know. Memphis is that weird team that if they played in the early 2000s would be really good. The problem is they're playing in 2017.
Yeah.
If they were playing in the era where you only had to score 85 points to win a game,
90 points to win. Yeah.
they could have they could have kept up with anybody.
It's really weird to watch.
They could have kept up. They wouldn't have beat the Laker teams that went to those 3 straight with Shaq and Kobe.
Shit,
But Tony Allen is the best defender Kobe ever seen, he said. Tony Allen's still kicking at 75.
But the Pistons did it.
I know.
So, I mean, if the Pistons did it, honestly, there wasn't nobody on their team better than, well, I mean, I like them all, but nobody on their team's better than motherfucking Gasol.
No.
Nobody from that 04 team. Maybe Rasheed.
Two completely different skill
But I'm
sets.
talking about just
like pure.
But talent. If I gave you Rasheed Wallace in the draft and Gasol in the draft, who you take?
I don't know.
Right.
I might take Gasol.
Okay, yeah. So,
But I don't think there's a wrong answer though. Too. I just think tiebreaker might be Gasol's vision on the court because he's a really skilled passer as well.
But Rasheed is off the charts on that chartboard. Like when he's really one of the smartest.
Post moves, Rasheed.
And also, you want to talk about who was a good lethal knockdown for Rasheed was. He was that before.
He was.
I guess we all kind of give credit to Dirk. I mean, because I think where he was at. But I think people forget those years in Portland that Rasheed was there. Rasheed was. Actually, you know what? I would actually like him. I won't even say DeMarcus Cousins is obviously way more talented than Rasheed, but I feel like DeMarcus Cousins is Rasheed Wallace in a bigger body.
That's fair.
I'm okay with that statement.
They're very similar.
And I don't mean by that. I don't even really mean just if you watch.
No, in the basketball sense. No.
Yeah, but they're obviously techs work, which is crazy because if you look at how many techs fucking DeMarcus gets, it's like 12, 16 maybe throughout the year. This nigga Rasheed was doing 40.
I know.
Was doing 40. And then, what? I'm going to beat it the next year, too. Like, so it's crazy to me. Like,
he got suspended for multiple playoff games in his career because he got too many technicals.
So, like, I think a lot of times, like, I really miss that with sports. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, we live more, I guess you would say, in a star-driven league now, which I think we still like. Like, I like Donald Driver. Like, I mean, granted, he wasn't a star, but I remember watching him with the Packers for all those years, like, and being a fan of him and things like that. But I know, like, now we into these, like, big-ass, like, superstars. We're trying to sell the NFL and shit like that. But I miss that rough and ruggedness, like, to basketball, to football. Like, even in hockey. Hockey used to be even raw than it is now.
I understand why you do it. I mean, safety-wise, I definitely get it. But it's just not fun to watch.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think we have guys who are mentally built like that?
I mean, maybe a handful, but as a whole in the league, no. Just because we've shaped them not to be that way. I mean, we're starting them out at college levels to be playing a softer way. It's just the way we're bringing them up now. Granted, there's still guys that play in football, basketball, whatever it may be. But now, especially even 5 to 10 years from now, I don't think we'll see it. Just because.
So what do you think what does that do for football? Because it's a physical sport.
I think football is going to be on the decline within the next 25 years. I
don't think it lasts that long.
Shit. I don't know what's going to pop with this court case with Colin. I don't think he's going to win, but shit.
Yeah. I mean,
what if?
It depends on how many. Well, not only that court case, but how about every person that's ever got CTE kind of fires back?
I'm saying 25 max.
The NFL doesn't have unlimited resources.
I think the NFL might be because
some people
they got a lot of resources, but they don't have unlimited.
Some people are saying 10, which 10 years wouldn't shock me either.
Mark Cuban said 10 like 5 years ago, and everybody laughed at him. So yeah, the NFL still will be going around in 5 years. So Mark Cuban's not going to be right, but he's not going to be that far off, I don't think.
So you think the NBA is the number one sport now?
Not yet.
The thing that the NBA that bothers me is
if everybody didn't play on the same team in the NBA, I feel like that would help.
Okay. That's that one.
Right now, the NBA, you look at the East, and it's wherever LeBron is. Like, there's no competition in the East. Absolutely none. But, like, Cleveland's going to run to the East, especially now that
poor
Hayward went down.
Poor Kyrie.
No.
Poor Kyrie.
Why don't you like Kyrie?
He left the king.
So fuck the king. Look, I'm supposed to sit here and be under this nigga all my life because you feel like he's the king?
Yeah, he feel like he is.
I don't even think he's better. If I personally don't think he's better than Kobe, y'all niggas talking about he the king. What the fuck makes you think I'm gonna want to be around this nigga?
Who's better than him right now?
LeBron?
Yeah. Who's better than LeBron right now? Why are you thinking about this? The answer is no one. Absolutely no one in the NBA
because
is
that's
better
the
than
thing. LeBron, okay. We're talking about what LeBron can do if he wants to do it. LeBron can get to the rim, all this other stuff. But offensive game ain't really all that great. I would name 5 players I would take over his offensive game.
I'll put LeBron on the worst team in the NBA right now.
Who's the worst team in the NBA right now?
Phoenix Suns.
No, fuck no.
Absolutely, it's the Phoenix Suns.
Over the Kings?
They're terrible too. I forgot they existed, to be honest.
Exactly.
Put him on either one of those teams. Put LeBron on either one of those teams, and they win a playoff series.
Does the Sacramento Kings actually have players? Like, who do they have? Buddy Hield?
No, they got Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got him. They signed him up. Wait, didn't they give Vince a nice little contract? I feel like too. Yeah.
Vince Carter, I forgot. He's 70.
There's a bunch of old niggas on that team, basically. Yeah, guys who on their way out, but they collecting a few more mil. Yeah.
Vince Carter.
That motherfucker still got bunnies, though. That motherfucker every now and then to give you, like, if you watch him through an 82-game season, that motherfucker still give you, I'm 99 again, bitch. We still out here, like.
Every once in a great while, he'll make the highlight.
Yeah. Vince was that guy. Okay, let me ask you a question. Better era that you feel like was from a star, Vince's or Allen Iverson's? Vinsanity, or I guess you'll say the answer. Whatever the fuck.
See, the thing with Allen is his time span didn't last as long. Like, when I think of...
See, that's an impossible question.
Yeah.
Really?
Because Allen Iverson played for like 6 years in Philly, 6 or 8, and Vince Carter played for like 8 different franchises.
Right.
Okay, but I'm asking, if you give me Vinsanity, though.
How long?
I feel like you have to pick him just solely because he jumped over that 8-footer in the Olympics.
But he didn't cross Michael Jordan.
That's fair.
That's more than fair. He crossed over Michael Jordan. They put rules in place that he could not do his crossover because they didn't want to see Mike get shook like that no more.
Well, that's because David Stern only cared about Michael Jordan.
Okay. But Allen, I don't even think it's close. Honestly, if you gave me better, I think Allen Iverson's is bigger than Kobe's. I think his star is bigger than Kobe's. And I'm a Kobe nut. Would you go back to those, like you said, 6, 8 years?
Yeah.
Allen Iverson was that guy.
Right.
LeBron, that was my favorite player. I didn't want to be Mike. I didn't want to be Kobe. I wanted to be AI. This nigga, 6'8", wanted to be 5'11". Mm-hmm. Think about that. What player can you ever think of that makes a big nigga want to be small?
That's fair.
Not a whole lot.
Usually it was like little dude, if I had some height, I would be that player. No, I'm 6'8", and I want to be 5'11". 11, 6 foot, and do the Allen Iverson did. Plus, Allen Iverson was in commercials. His shoes are honestly probably next best to Michael Jordan's because LeBron's shoes are trash. Steph's shoes are trash. KD's shoes are trash. Carmelo's
Steph Curry's shoes
are trash.
probably the worst shoe the NBA's ever seen. Oh, it is. It's like $300 million in the hole. Like, it's not good. I don't know what the exact number is. 300 might be a little too high. But Steph Curry, they are dredging money on those shoes. They are bad.
And he got a percentage with Under Armour,
I don't
though.
know.
Yeah, he has some owner stock shit. I know that's
His stock's not doing well. You better sell it for pennies.
But kids like Steph, though.
Yeah.
They do.
What is he? Is he at Under Armour?
Yeah, he's got Under Armour.
I'm not wearing an Under Armour shoe.
Yeah, but I've seen kids walk. And you really watch a lot of these shoes in Kmart. They look like Steph shoes, but you know, yeah,
I haven't stepped inside
Kmart.
Kmart
A Kmart
10
style.
years.
Nah, look
Is
at
Kmart? Is that a thing still?
Yeah,
we have one on
that's
Pleasant.
right now.
Yeah.
I know, but I know we have one here, but like
Yeah,
most of them are closing.
Oh. You know,
Most
more
of
about
everything's
it.
closing, so
It was a big thing when I was a kid.
that's true.
I used to go to Kmart and be like, all right, we're here.
Yeah, we had a Kmart straight down the street, so yeah, I was there. I didn't know what the fuck a Walmart was, nigga. I knew Kmart. Nigga.
It's
That
true.
was the spot.
We had a Kmart right next to the Kroger, like right across the street.
Yeah.
That was our two.
I didn't know about Kroger until I moved to Mount
And then
Pleasant.
Sam's
Really?
Club when we need what?
Yeah. The Kroger up here is the first Kroger I've ever seen.
I didn't learn about Sam's Club until I went to like Grand Rapids, and I was out there like it was like 15. I was like, Sam's Club. I like this place. Yeah. I was in there with an old white woman, so it was really weird. Whatever it is, we're going to Sam's Club. I ain't never been that motherfucker. But yeah,
Whose club we going to?
yeah,
We got
exactly.
We got dancing in this club, or what we doing? What's going on here?
I got in there. I was like, wow, all right, it's a lot
There
of
ain't no
stuff. here.
dancing. Got a lot of water bottles in one case, though. Dang.
Oh man. So what do y'all think? What's gonna happen with this whole NFL protest thing now? Because you heard that Michael Bennett say he's like, we're not doing no negotiation until Colin got a job.
Man, I hope, and it won't happen because I don't think the NFL will allow it to happen, but in a perfect world, I would love to see every NFL player take a knee by the end of the season. But they're making sanctions that now they're not even allowing it. Like, they're going to make a rule.
No.
How about this? How about if the NFL's tired of it, stop taking the money from the armed forces and just let them stay in the locker room.
Like they were doing before.
Since every year before 2009, 2010, I don't remember what year it was they started.
Why would?
They're not going to not take the money. I know where you're going with this.
Got that.
Roger Goodell's like, that's coming straight out of my $87 million
Right.
paycheck.
And it's,
I'm broke.
Which is fucking crazy.
How do you make $48 million and you're terrible at your job?
This nigga makes.
I make 48 cents and I'm good at my job. Ish. I'm getting better.
He's at Peter Pan.
You can look at my numbers, bud. I'm getting better. Meyer.
Oh, Meyer. Look at my logistics. But no, honestly, truth be told, I think that the players fucked up. I think they fucked up.
I don't think they had a choice.
No. I'm gonna tell you this is why they fucked up. Because everything now, y'all diluted Colin's whole message. And I'm tell you why. Because for that whole year, cool. Colin was out here, you know, a few of his people, Eric Reed, that's in the game. Was out with a few other people, cool. Whatever. Some other people started doing the fist, whatever, cool. They fucked up. Beginning of the season, it was very clear, I think to me, Colin wasn't going to get no goddamn job.
I think that was clear to everyone. I had even an eye that could see.
Well, no, for a little minute, because I remember Richard Sherman coming out there and Doug Baldwin. I don't really know. And
You should be in Seattle.
Yeah. And then this was crazy. I hate when people on TV always say this shit like, oh, Seattle brought him in to work out. No, they brought him in to talk. They never worked him out. That's all they did. They brought him in to talk. Talked to him for, I think they talked like 2 hours. And that was it. And decided to go with whoever the fuck they decided to go with. Jacob Brisket. The dude from TCU or whatever. I can't think of his name.
Boykin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
so.
person?
Colts.
Oh, that's good. Duh.
Getting
Because
shut
they're
out
starting
today.
right now.
Mm,
Getting shut out today.
yeah.
Elite.
So, but for like 4 or 5 weeks there, before Trump back into the shit because he was already into the shit. But when he
he's been
jumped back
he's
into
been
the
in
shit,
from the start. I don't care what people say.
that whole little stand up, everybody lock arms and say, I kept saying the shit. I was like, this is gonna be a one off. It's just gonna be real fucked up. This shit's about to get real fucking fishy out here in the streets. And this is why I say the NFL might fuck themselves because. And it's when y'all do when they do the collective bargaining agreement, a lot of people don't. Obviously the owners got over this last one, but I remember Skip Bayless. This is why I go back to my man Skip. Before the season started, he said, "I wish every black player not play. Just say I'm not gonna fucking play." And I think a lot of people don't realize the value of black bodies when it comes to sports entertainment overall. Like, just picture if the NBA if all the black players in the NBA just said, done. If all the black players on the court said, I'm not playing today.
Right.
What, are you going to forfeit the game?
You look at that.
You can have about, I don't know how many, like 20. It's not even enough to field a team.
So, and then...
You're going to have a lot of linemen.
Yeah, a lot of linemen.
A lot of
playing
offensive
receiver.
linemen.
Like, ooh, I'm about to get some passes
Some
today.
slot receivers.
We going to get a turnover. Start me. I'm getting here.
You'll get a quarterback. Your fullback's going to be your running back. You're
So
not going to have a fullback.
I feel like they missed their mark because then when they brought it into like we're gonna go against Trump and we don't appreciate Trump calling us sons of bitches and shit like that. Like this nigga Ben thought y'all was sons of bitches. Y'all just realizing this shit, especially as a black man. You just realizing this motherfucker don't think shit of you.
Well, the problem I have is why couldn't they do this when Colin was protesting? Like when Colin took his initial knee, how many people stood behind him? 2 or 3, maybe 4.
No, it was
Not
him.
many.
It was him by
It
him.
was him and Eric Reed.
At first, it was him.
Yeah,
Then
then
Eric
Eric
Reed.
Reed. Like 4 people total, I think.
That's what's like that very, very few handful. And a year went on, and a few more bodies happened. But it took the president to call them out for them to come together. Like that.
Did they
bothered
really
me.
even come together?
It was a one. It was a
It
1
was
week
for
thing.
show.
Yeah.
Like why if we're all behind Colin about this, why are we waiting over a fucking year to do something for 1 week? We haven't seen anything about it since a majority of the NFL took a knee, did their stand, whatever it may be, they did.
The Steelers hid in the locker room.
We haven't heard about it since, and that's
Size
what,
one.
that's what
So,
bothers me.
But I think that's because a lot of people try to turn that into when he was the moral of the fucking story is people don't give a fuck about black issues in America.
Yeah, that's
Point blank
that's,
fucking
that's the
period.
big elephant in the room.
Yeah,
that no
nobody
one
wants to talk about.
Exactly.
So cool, okay, cool. He's talking about police brutality, shit like that. Shit ain't got really shit to do with me. Things like that, or whatever the case may be. Or I may feel some type of way, but military, whatever pressure. Then go back to somebody like Des Bryant. I don't want to be no Colin Kaepernick. I got a family to feed. I got kids to feed. I ain't got time for y'all motherfuckers to be blackballing me or whatever. Especially, and up to that point, I think Colin had which is really funny. If y'all really, I can't wait till they do the 30 for 30 on Colin. Because that motherfucker's coming.
Well, with ESPN,
Yeah.
they're
Well,
going to do it for sure.
but when you look at it Colin was he was the pretty boy out here flexing and shit.
He never
showing
really
off.
said a whole lot. He was...
No, he wasn't. He wasn't a big talk. But I think from the I remember one game he showed, or not even a game. It was I remember people got into him about some shit like he wore a Miami Dolphins hat to a party or whatever. He's San Francisco. I was like, but dude's like, yo, it's fast because it matched his shoes. You know, like and shit like that. But so he was always kind of like the pretty boy.
Mm-hmm.
So to watch him go from being the pretty boy, light skin, nice smile, can get bad bitches, showing off the abs, to becoming this kind of martyr in a lot of ways, it's kind of really weird or whatever. For me personally, just to look at who that is Colin, because I was like, just 3-4 years ago, I remember you being a sunbathing nigga, shiny motherfucker, but now this person, which I mean, it's always a credit to whenever somebody decides what they want to exercise, whatever they feel, and plus too. When he was doing all that shit, our country we still kind of living in this whole we got a black president. Shit, we was kind of living in that time or whatever. So, but I mean, we obviously seen through the last 2-3 years, what's 2 years now, since since they announced they was running for president. Yeah, about 2 years
Mhm.
or whatever. Now, shit's been a whole lot motherfucking different than things like that. But you want to talk about motherfucking we don't hear nothing about it. Tell me why we ain't seeing a motherfucking dead nigga getting shot by the police every day on the news no more. Remember, like for a few months there, it was like every other day. Yo, we got some hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
Literally since Trump's become president. What's the last story?
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Philando Castile was probably the last one.
it's bigger than sports right now. What's going
So,
on?
yeah.
The stories you see are the ones on Facebook.
What's going on
Yeah.
is
But
big.
yeah, but we don't. They don't. So I think all that's just marketing. Like whenever we can try to bring some dollars in and finesse it through some ways. I think that's why Jay-Z turned down the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think because obviously people's like, oh, go use the platform, go talk shit, do what your wife did.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce went straight, nigga, on that motherfucking stage or whatever with Coldplay, which is crazy. Because if y'all remember the Coldplay performance, it was all colors and shiny and all this shit. And Beyonce came out there with this militant ass shit, almost fell, and God said, "No, nigga, you are not falling today." Like she almost fell, and it was, nope, I caught myself, nope, and still kept going. Which Beyonce. But I think that's the elephant in the room. Is like you said, nobody wants to talk about. Nobody cares about black people, and especially when it comes to issues and things like that. And now I think it's really starting to hit people's door. I really think it's starting to hit people's door. Now a lot of people are like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Right.
I think that's where you get a lot of. Can we just get back to the sports conversation?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times or whatever, because I think a lot of people were like, we was living in this, like, I guess, post-racial society or whatnot, which I think for any educated person seen shit, like, shit didn't change. There's a lot of people who felt like Obama was just a motherfucking mask to do some shit, but not saying I believe that. Don't get me out there on that. But, I mean, I love Obama. Obama was cool. I just, fuck policy, Democrat, Republican. Nigga had no scandals. Think of that. Like, all these presidents we've had, first black president, think of all that pressure on it.
Dude was
nothing.
A genuinely good man.
What's the worst thing? Like, okay, cool. He had Hillary Clinton as his friend. He hired this. Whatever the case may be. Whatever your issue particularly is. You can't sit down and say, yo, this nigga, no scandals. Bush had the Iraq War. We know Clinton was getting his dick sucked. Whatever the case may be. Whoever you wanted, and this man, nothing. That right there, fuck being a president. Who the fuck is this nigga? Where'd you come from? You kind of got to be alien in a lot of ways. Because, just the one to become the first black president is crazy. That's just crazy. But then, no scandals, nothing. And Fox News, fucking Bill O'Reilly, every day, they waiting for something. They sitting. They probably sending big titty white bitches this way, like, oh, we're going to get his ass Tiger Woods style. Nothing. Nothing. Loves his wife, loves his kids. Like, make white people want to be him. That's crazy. And not from, it's usually when you see, a white, oh, I want to be like LeBron. They care about the gift, the being able to jump this high, whatever the case may be. People want to be this man. That man, I miss that motherfucker. But needless to say, but back to what we were talking about when we were talking about NFL. I think the players missed their mark. And that's what a lot of it, I feel like it's not genuine. That's why I feel like it was one off and you don't see a lot of players on it too. But I feel like at the end of this year, because I think we're going to have to watch it all through a year time span. I think this whole story of Colin thing is not going to fuck away. It's not going away no time soon. But I think we're going to have to start watching it in a year span. Because now, okay, before that, once the quarterback gets injured, Colin probably get a job. Yeah, it's not happening or whatever the case may be. So now we're going to watch all these bad, terrible quarterbacks. And then you're going to really have people start to feel, because one thing, I may be a little naive if we care more about our sports team or race. I'll have to figure that out. But if the Colts keep being shitty, people may think Andrew Luck may come back. What about if his soldier really don't come back?
Some people are saying this is a career-ending injury.
Yeah. So what about if that it really happens? Okay, are we just gonna sit here? Because I haven't heard of a quarterback that's coming out the draft that's gonna be the next big great thing. I mean, usually they're gonna hype somebody.
Right.
We thought it was going to be Sam Darnold, but he's just a dumpster fire.
Who the fuck is Sam Arnold?
USC.
The USC quarterback. Josh Rosen, or the UCLA quarterback. We
Yeah.
thought he was. I mean, I think he's good, but
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys. It's a lot like last year's draft.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel.
There's a couple guys.
So I feel like when you watch that, it's just like, look, and you're gonna have a lot of these coaches, and I think that's what really is gonna get. I mean, you got the one with the Rams, Josh McGee. He's like 31.
Sean McVay, the
Sean
Ram coach.
McVay, yeah, he's like 31 or whatever. But most of these coaches are old.
Mhm.
These niggas ain't got time to be playing.
Right.
Like, 'cause I remember with the Baltimore, like the owner was the one who said he didn't want to do it. Like the coach, GM, was like, "Yo, let's get Colin in here. Let's do this. Like, we don't know how long Flacco's gonna be out. We don't know what's gonna go with this. Let's get him here." So the owner chose not to do it. So I wonder what's gonna happen when these players start sitting here going. And the crazy thing is, before the season ended, you would never even have nothing. Colin said, "I was going to stand." He said, "I'll stand." He said, "I made my point. I'm going to stand."
Yeah.
Before the season ended last year, and they fucked themselves. And I think that's the thing that's going to really start fucking with people. Is people are going to start watching just the hypocrisy or whatever. And I think as much as they're turning off the, I guess you would say, the conservative middle America crowd, they're turning off a lot of their black viewership much too.
Right.
I mean, granted, 65% to 10% population demographics and things like that. But the NFL has a huge black viewership. And now when you alienate, just like, all right, cool. And then what does that do with these college players that keep coming in? Do they keep just starting? Do they keep like? NFL's in a really fucked up position right now.
Everybody realizes that from 1 year at a time.
Mm.
And another thing that with Colin though is like you got to put him on the right team. Like
Yeah.
I don't think like you can't just put him on the team. They're like, oh, he's a better quarterback than this quarterback. Obviously, you got to fit him in your system. If you're a quarterback, if he's not the quarterback for your system,
Right.
don't bring him in. I mean, sure you have a job, most definitely,
Yeah.
but it depends on the team as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I agree. But then that's my thing though. Like a lot of these quarterbacks aren't all to these systems.
Right.
This really, if you really want to talk about system quarterbacks, how many of them are there really? I mean, yeah, of course, there's certain quarterbacks you put them in right positions, they're going to succeed or whatever. But Colin Kaepernick took over for Alex Smith. Alex Smith might be putting up an MVP season right now.
He is on fire right now.
He took his job.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches, obviously. I mean, we all know what the fuck had really happened with Colin, but people really don't want to talk about it. Motherfucker, like, he had 2 coaches his last 2 years. His team was stressed. People always never talk about how many players from San Francisco retired. Remember, like, that year when everybody was really starting to learn about CTE?
Mhm.
It was like all them players from, and they were all from San
Patrick
Francisco.
Willis,
Yeah.
They're like left guard,
Yeah.
retired.
They were all, and they were young. They were like 25, 24. All these people kept leaving over there.
The linebacker, the other linebacker too.
I just know it was a lot. I
Give
remember
it to me.
it was
You-
like 7.
You keep going. I'll think of it.
Yeah, it was like
He's a
7
stud.
of them players or whatever. They just can't fucking retire. Nobody ever talks about that. So now you had, and that's where, Colin had this historic great defense and whatever, but all those people left, like, in
Chris
their
Moreland.
prime. Yeah, there we go. So I feel like people, one, that's just, if people want to come up with excuses, but I feel like, okay, this, who's the quarterback from Green Bay now?
Brett Hundley.
Hundley. Does he really fit their system?
No,
The only reason
Brett Hundley is Colin Kaepernick as a player. They're very similar.
Nah,
They're very
not
similar.
even close. I don't even think that's even close.
I'm not saying talent wise. I'm saying style wise.
Yeah.
Very similar in style. I'm not trying to say that was not my point.
Nah.
I'm saying similar wise. They're
Plus-
mobile quarterbacks whose arm is a question mark in terms of at least accuracy wise. Kaepernick, obviously, Colin's got a bigger arm than a lot of people, so it's not surprising that he's got a bigger arm.
What do you
than
think
Brett
happens though if like history just played this course differently?
Hundley.
Colin makes that throw in the Super Bowl,
That's what. Yeah, I was.
and say he kind of semi misses that second throw, and the following year in the NFC Championship,
Mhm.
he takes his knee. Do you think he has a job?
As a Super Bowl winning quarterback, yeah, probably.
Okay, now hypothetically, what if he didn't?
Didn't take a knee or didn't?
No, what if he had a Super Bowl, took a knee, and he didn't have a job?
I think he'd win his lawsuit a lot easier than.
I think he'd have a job though. I don't. It's hard to argue that because I don't. I just think he'd have a job. I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I was like, let's put Tom Brady in Colin Kaepernick's shoes. All right. You know, it's hard using Tom Brady because he's white, but Tom Brady is such a hot figure. Let's say Tom Brady does exactly what Kaepernick's doing. How many people freak out? Absolutely none.
I think a lot of people freak out, but I think he gets the benefit of that job.
Right.
That's fair. A lot of people.
But then also, too, I feel like it could go a lot of different ways because
But
he plays for the Patriots.
Well, I use Tom Brady because of how much he's won.
Yeah.
So going back to what you say, if Kaepernick wins even that Super Bowl, we're probably not having this discussion right now. But he didn't. So that's,
But see, that's the thing. Even if he did win that Super Bowl, I feel like we could still be having the same conversation. Because it wasn't like he was not at the Super Bowl like that long ago. It was like, what, 3-4 years
If he won the Super Bowl, maybe he's the quarterback of the Ravens right now. They actually signed him. Joe Flacco doesn't get that extension. Who knows? There you go.
But when he wouldn't have been out. Well, I guess, yeah. He won the Super Bowl. But
Joe
what about-
Flacco doesn't get that extension. There you go. Could have happened.
Wow, that's crazy to think of how history could have. One pass.
one pass. Over.
Damn.
But
I'm
that's
still
how all
rocking with
sports are.
It's true.
Yeah.
One, whatever.
Who's the greatest basketball player?
Of all time?
Yeah, to you.
MJ.
They say the same thing. But anyway.
I mean, unless you were, I don't know. I never really watched the people in the 70s or older. But, I mean, Will Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game. That cannot be forgotten.
I don't.
But that's just a completely different.
I don't credit it because you're a 7-foot black guy versus a bunch of 5'6" white guys at the time. Like they didn't even have a 3-point fucking line. They literally just gave you the ball. These dudes were crawling on you. You just was like.
I mean, I have no problem with Kobe. I by no means have a problem when people say Kobe is number one. That doesn't bother me in the least bit.
Before we end the show, I hate how Shaq never is in this conversation.
As the greatest player, I think because
He's not. I don't think he is the greatest player. I'm not saying, but I hate that he's not. Because can you name a big that was better than Shaq? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't.
Like, hold on. Better, like, skill-wise, because there's been better centers than Shaq skill-wise. But if you want to just talk about pure dominance.
What he brought to the court.
He averaged like 28, 12, or 28.
You know he's never led the
14
league, though,
for a
in
long time.
rebounds?
No, he never did.
That shit always boggles my mind. That Shaq never led the league 1 year in rebounds, ever.
Is it because Shaq was so bad at the free throw line that people refused to put him in that conversation? Because he had that such a big hole in his game?
I think Shaq won. His run was too short.
That's
I think
fair.
when Shaq, plus two, I feel like the Kobe Shaq argument.
That's
For a long time there, Shaq had the talk. Because when
Mhm.
Shaq went to Miami, D Wade went off,
Yeah, he
got
won.
his ring or whatever. And people for
Yeah,
a
they
long
don't win
time,
that ring without Shaq.
Kobe. Actually, I don't think they won that ring without Alonzo Mourning.
They don't win that ring without a lot of people. Antoine Walker, they don't win that ring without Antoine Walker.
Fucking Jason Williams.
All of them. All of
They
them.
had Gary Payton on that squad.
They
Gary
did.
Payton got us the ring there.
They did.
Which is funny, though,
Because he was on the Lakers that last year. When
Tried to
when
get
they
it
lost,
with them. Yo, man, they had a rock star ass team, though. They had Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Shaq, Kobe,
that last
Rick
year.
I
Fox.
forgot they had Karl Malone.
Yeah.
And they lost to the Pistons with that
Lost
squad.
with a bunch of nobody ass names.
Mm.
And that's funny, though. It's funny how teams can take on the city's identity.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's weird. Because, like, could you picture if Golden State was our team? Was a business team?
It'd be weird.
It would.
It'd be weird. Like, or picture, like, if, like, say we in Pittsburgh and they got, like, an offense like Atlanta or something. Well, I mean, I guess they trying to, but, like, they're not known for their defense.
Mhm.
Like Baltimore.
No,
Like,
that's fair.
picture of, like, Baltimore just became this offensive juggernaut. Like, that shit would just throw me off because, like, all these years, I've seen Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all these people. So I don't know. I think that's really weird how the city can kind of
Mhm.
make your sports team or whatnot.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely.
Because they fit the bag.
Yeah.
Or Golden State fits the bag.
They do.
But no, Shaq, I just feel like his run was too short. I don't feel like a lot of people. Like I feel like for us growing up, like we seen him in movies. Shaq got a record with Kobe, with Tupac and Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Like Shaq has a record with Tupac and Biggie while they were alive. These not dead record recordings. He did it while he was alive. Like Shaq did a bunch of stuff. Like you want to talk about putting big time name shoes into Kmart like that. Like and these motherfuckers still sell. Like motherfuckers still make money. Like what he does with commercials. Like he's better than Peyton when it comes to his commercials and things like. So I think a lot of that, but I think a lot of times for a lot of those years after I would say when D-Wade got that ring 06, from 06 when did Shaq retire? 2012, 2011.
I think 12 is about right because he played that 1 year in Boston.
Yeah,
Remember that?
he played in Boston, played in Cleveland, he played in with the Suns.
Yeah, because they traded him to the Suns.
Yeah, he's a big cat.
Steve Kerr was the GM of the Suns.
Really?
At that time, yes, he was.
Huh. I know
About
that.
Shaq.
Yeah, so I feel like
And Steve Kerr was the GM of the Suns, and Alvin Gentry was their coach, and those are the two that won the title.
yeah.
Or that was the year they lost the title, I think. Was Alvin Gentry was his assistant in Golden State, but
Yeah. But it was so, like, okay, put it to you, like, so what? That was 06. I was 17. So, I'm 28 now. What were you in 06?
11.
11, yep.
11.
Yeah.
11. So all that time through there, you only knew Shaq to kind of be trash. From 11 years old up to 2012.
Live watching, yeah. But, like, I knew how dominant Shaq was.
It helped.
But
Probably the best 30 for 30 one-off that they had done was the one with Shaq.
Oh, yeah. When he went to LSU, or when it showed him that LSU and
That
stuff.
was
Like
one of the best they've done.
I think the Bad Boys Pistons one. And that's not me being biased.
No, that's a good one.
Like, I feel like that
That's a good
motherfucker
one.
was just so good.
There's not a lot of bad ones, though. There's really not.
No. I mean, you do you.
I wish they were still on Netflix.
Oh, no, take that back. The best 30 for 30 was the OJ one.
That was which one?
It was a 5-part
Like the
series.
day? Oh, that 5-part series.
What? You didn't like it?
It was basically, FX did a 10-part series, so we're just gonna take the highlights from there.
No,
And
I feel
make
like
it
it
our
was
own.
different. I thought it was way
It was
different.
different, but how many different ways can I watch the OJ trial?
A bunch because it's the OJ trial. OJ, okay, right now, OJ is right now having martinis with 2 old white bitches right now.
Which is good.
You
I'm happy for him.
really? I'm saying run away.
Okay. Alright, I didn't know where you were going with that.
But just think of that. Think of that. OJ. Like, okay. OJ is that fascinating. That's why his story is always going to be that fascinating.
25 years later, too.
He's that, and also, like, and that's one thing I think that shows different from what the FX, because the movie was good, but they're actors. They're showing you the documentary.
No, that was the biggest difference. Is ESPN News and Doc.
Yeah, and then I feel like also
FX brought in Ross Geller.
Yeah, they brought in a Josh
Travolta.
Cuban Gooding.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of good people. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I just
No, they're definitely different tastes.
wait. What do I think Michigan State gonna do this year?
Well, I predicted that they wouldn't win 6 games.
I said they go 8-30.
So I'm already out
Yeah,
there.
they're pretty good, though.
So,
You think they're pretty good? I think they're.
No, I'm saying his pick's pretty good.
no, yeah.
Healy pick.
Yep. Well, they already won their 6 games.
Yeah, they have. I don't know. They can win 10. I don't know what their schedule is down the stretch. So
Now they play Ohio State. Which, honestly,
who knows?
yeah. They'll make a bowl game.
Is Ohio State good? I don't even know. I mean, they're good, but like next level, I don't even know.
Do you just feel like it's a shoe in another year for Alabama?
Yeah.
Now that Clemson lost.
I don't know what to make of Penn State. Because,
We'll find out on Saturday.
yeah.
I really think Saturday, because it's a back-to-back for them. Ohio State had a bye week. These are 2 huge games.
And I thought from the beginning Penn State was going to be Michigan. Like, there was no doubt in my mind it was going to happen. They beat Michigan. They dominated.
Yeah, they did.
Like, and it's not that Michigan's a bad team. They're not great this year, but
No, their defense is outstanding.
they make
I love Michigan's defense.
that's not that Michigan's defense has kept them in games, and they
Still
steamed
scored 42, yeah.
steamrolled Michigan. So it's I mean maybe
But
Penn
also-
State.
I think if Michigan can figure out their goddamn quarterback thing, I don't know why I keep giving all these props to Michigan. Like I want them to succeed. I really want y'all to be trash for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah, but it's a lot more fun for you. to beat Michigan when they're good. When you're a Michigan State fan,
Yeah.
you want them to be 8-0.
Because honestly, I don't like hearing. Yo, well, we really wasn't supposed to win anyways, and all this. I don't really like hearing that shit anyways.
And what a lot of people don't realize that Michigan has one of the youngest teams in the top 5 power conference schools. So like, and Harbaugh's been there 3 years. Like, how many coaches can come in there and like bring a team like, okay, yeah, we might have a national title in 3 years. Not gonna happen this year. But like, just the fact that he can bring that presence, like he can get that conversation going. Like, honestly, if he can win a title in the first 5 years, that's exceptional. And he might be able to make a title run in 2 years.
Yeah.
Definitely within 3.
You know who did that? James Franklin. James Franklin's in year 4 right now. Can they win a title? No. Well, yes, but they would need Alabama to have like their entire first 2 strings break legs. But they're also in year 3. He won a Big Ten. Jim Harbaugh's year 3. He's not winning a Big Ten.
Even if he wins out this year.
Urban Meyer, I think, won the title in year 3.
Yeah.
I do believe it was year 3.
Wait, when did he win it at Ohio?
I think it was year 3.
That was in his first year.
He went undefeated that first year, but they had the bowl sanctions.
Okay, how long did it take him with the Gators?
Alex Smith was drafted in 04 and they won in 07. Might have been 3.
That motherfucker's
He is.
It might have been 3.
That's why I say, like, that's
three.
why I think, that's why I don't want to get, I liked it on top when I seen Jim Harbaugh. Like, I hated it as a Michigan State fan. I'm like, motherfucker, they're going to get all the goddamn recruits.
And that's the thing, Harbaugh doesn't even have all of his recruits yet. Like,
but I think with Michigan State, if they keep doing what they doing, if they showcase, we beat them. We beat them when they were supposed to beat us.
Even as a Michigan fan, I love seeing State good. Like, I want Ohio State to be good. I want Michigan State to be good. I want Wisconsin to be good. I want Penn State to be good. Like, I want these
When
teams.
is Indiana ever going to be good?
Never. Just we can just throw
Like,
that
what's
out.
up with them? What's up
Just
with
throw that
Indiana?
Like,
they never have.
They hung with Michigan. They hung with State. They just can't
Just
throw
throw
those
it out.
games out.
Just throw it out. They're done. They're terrible. All right.
Yo.
We got any last minute words that we didn't say? Covered a lot today.
Yeah.
Good show.
You gonna shout out anybody?
I want to just give a shout out to Verlander.
Okay. Shout outs to
Houston going to the World Series.
Oh, my guy Russ, my favorite player since Kobe Bryant retired. Shout out to my baby Russ. Russie, go ahead, triple doubles all year, back to back.
And
What if he does that?
that'd be hype.
I mean, he might. See,
Does that give him the greatest point guard of all time?
no, because it's only 2 years. I mean, 10 of all time.
Nigga, it's only 2 years to do back to back triple doubles
No,
in a season.
I'm saying you can't give it to him after a performance. I don't know. I didn't see.
And this with 2 different kind of squads, though.
True.
Say he'd do it. He did it well when he was the only person. So you can say, okay, you was the only person who could do something.
It depends on how it happens.
I don't think. I don't know. You think Lonzo can average a triple double?
Stop.
I don't think so.
That motherfucker rebounds really good.
Stop.
But he's gonna.
Why not? Why not? Okay, let me ask you this: can he give you double digit points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in the game though.
He can average double digit points.
No. 10 points.
Okay, sure.
I said double digit. Okay, he's only takes 10.
True.
I don't know if he can average 10 in either of the other 2. I think Lonzo
And
could be.
assists?
I think Lonzo could be like a 27-7 guy.
You
Which
think
is
he
not
can
bad.
put up 27? See, that's funny.
No, 27 and 7.
7.
Not 27.
Oh.
27-7. I think he can be that guy. Like, I'm not comparing him to LeBron. But LeBron's a 25, 8, and 7 guy. If LeBron wanted to, he probably could average triple double, whatever he wanted.
I think Lonzo's gonna get off to a hot start because the guys in the league don't know how he plays.
They also don't play defense in the NBA. Why is everyone surprised that Patrick Beverley shut him down? Patrick Beverley is the best defensive guard in the NBA.
You think he's better than Avery Bradley?
I think he is. Do I think Avery Bradley is
I bet.
a really good defender? Oh, he's a much better player.
What do y'all think of the Pistons? Like, what do we feel about the Pistons?
They'll make the playoffs because the East.
They'll win 35 games and be the 6th.
the East
is garbage.
incredibly weak. I think they'll make the playoffs.
Who's the third best team in the East? Is Toronto still good?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Still gets around to them. I mean, at least they always perform in the regular season. They
That's
always
fair.
seem to be able to
Are
put
the Hawks relevant? No,
No.
they're trash.
Minnesota. Will
It's
be
not
good.
in the
They're
East.
in the West.
Oh yeah, duh.
The West is stacked.
The West is stacked.
Lakers
That's like-
could miss the playoffs and win 40.
Oh yeah. I don't even see how y'all thinking these Lakers about to win 40. Mind you, we only won like
I know. You won
20
like
games last year,
16,
maybe.
13.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I don't honestly.
I mean, I won't be shocked.
You just have a point guard now
Yeah.
who can make players around him better. And no matter what anybody says about Lonzo Ball, he makes people around him better.
Yeah, that's true. But who? That boy Ingram. I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
I like him. He's got to put some weight on. Still. I think he's put weight on, and he still needs to put more on. Because you're not playing the 3 in this league at 190. When you got guys like
Is he a
LeBron.
3?
Yeah.
We need to get rid of Randall. I think he's a bust. I've been saying he was a bust. I say he's a bust when we drafted him.
I've had people say that. I've heard that for a few years now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's one of those guys. He can bully his way to the hole sometimes and things like that. Like, I think he's like a rich man's. What was my man's Maxwell? He used to play for the
Oh,
Bulls.
jeez.
Remember my man's Maxwell with the gap though? Like,
That dude
yeah.
was
Oh,
like
yeah.
6'6".
No, he wasn't. Maxwell was
Yeah.
a little guy and was doing all that. Yeah, that's why he was a good thing. Maxwell was little. What was it? Brian Maxwell? Brandon Maxwell? What was that? He was a little guy. He might have been 6'6", but I know he was undersized for his position. He was really undersized for his position. I don't think he was on 6'6". I have to look that up. I'm gonna Google that. I give you on that one.
Alright.
Other than that, I'm good.
Hey, want to close this up?
Yeah, Delta Soccer won their quarterfinal game over the weekend in New Jersey. Middlesex County College, whatever that means. JUCO Soccer. They won 3-1. I don't know what they play next. I should look. I don't have a fucking clue. That's all I got. They're 4 games away from winning the title, so. And they're number 3.
I saw that thing.
Number 3.
I don't know shit about none of this shit, but we here.
Thanks for being on.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Shout out to Ben. Final shout out to Ben. Playing D&D tonight instead of hanging out.
You don't always gotta use your pussy for power. I'm sorry. I know some girls are about to be really fucked up with that one. They about to, nah. But it's cool. You know what? Get the ratings up.
Episode 7
Leading the break.
in the books.
Till next time.
Later.
Come on.